Hey everyone, Conor here again for Fortune Intelligence, and today's topic is, does fruit make you fat? So I'm going to tackle this ones from a range of perspectives, probably where the misinformation probably started to come from, in terms of limiting enzymes or comparing to other things, what actually happens practically, and what is the science behind all of it, which is always the fun stuff. So the very first thing to address is when a whole bunch of bad things associated with high fructose corn syrup came out, suddenly fruit consumption dropped massively in the industry. One thing to understand is fructose is not the same as high fructose corn syrup. So let's quickly move on past that one. Right, so here's the other thing about fructose. So fructose is different to glucose. Like all things, energy balance will dictate whether you're having weight loss, weight gain, and weight maintenance. But the thing is, yes, there can be a storage issue eventually with fructose. So fructose primarily goes towards the liver, which is not a bad thing. I know people love full muscles, but if you think about it, you're trying to drive processes and maybe hypertrophy. If a big fundamental basic such as your liver isn't covered with being adequately fueled, why is it going to go ahead and put the resources towards muscle gain? Just a quick thought there. But because of how biochemically or structurally a fructose chain looks, it basically looks very similar to another glucose, except how the carbons and hydrogens and oxygens and stuff like that and the ratios is sort of switched around. So it's the same thing, it just looks a little bit different. Because of this, and with how it's stored and transported, in particular transported, there may be an issue eventually. If you have enough of it, where do we go? It's probably going to go towards fat, even if you're technically hypocaloric. But it's not really a practical issue because the number is usually about 90 to 100, 80 to 100 grams of fructose, depending on where you get your resources from. And the thing is to understand is if you're getting 80 to 100 grams of fructose in already, you've nearly practically went over your calories anyway, which is obviously a big bad factor contributing towards weight gain. And I think people are out of touch with how far away people are from 80 to 100 grams of fructose a day. I mean, I think a banana has between 3 and 6 grams of fructose. I know it depends on resistant starch and all that stuff of how far it is developed, but big picture is to get that much glucose, you might need upwards of 30 bananas a day. Suddenly, calories is a big issue again. So theoretically, there might be an issue there, but practically, it's never an issue before calories is. The other thing to understand with fruit is it's got a lot of cool effects. There's a lot of, just like I mentioned in my Is a Carb a Carb video, there's things that come with it, with the fructose, with the glucose, whatever. Fruit is great with this nutrient effect. Obviously, nutrient deficiencies can lead to a whole bunch of sad things with both health and body composition, which follows. It also contains fiber, keeps people more satiated. People enjoy it. It's sort of a sweet tooth go-to, I guess, in people that are dieting, which doesn't lead to as much overeating as potentially other sweet sources do. Usually contains antioxidants, a whole bunch of things basically. And more practically again, so there has been studies to show, again correlational, but people that consume more fruit in the diet do seem to consume less calories on the whole. So it is technically part of a quote-unquote healthy lifestyle. So yeah, there might not be any need to have redonks amounts, but yeah, it's different between fructose and fruit even. There is a lot of variance fruit to fruit with how much fructose you get. Yes, really practical issues, guys. Have your fruit, it's good for you. I have fruit in all my clients' plans, and you should be fine. Again, it's really a limiting factor unless you're literally trying to be a dickhead. So if you're not trying to be a dickhead and your calories are controlled, don't worry, you're fine. In fact, you're probably going to have some benefits from it. All right, hope you enjoyed that.